me normally is like an outline of what I'm going to speak. And instead, I just have a whole bunch of notes. And I'm waiting for God to tell me how to put it together. And this is something we were going to do this a few weeks ago. We were going to do it Mother's Day weekend, and then things got changed. And so I've been studying this for a little while now, and still I said, Lord, I don't know how I'm going to put all this together. And of course, then I stopped and I said, Lord, how are you going to put this together? Because I can't do it. So tonight we're going to talk about identity. People often form their identity around what they do and not who they are. And when you form your identity around what you do, that's the world's identity and not Christ's identity. In Genesis 1:27, it says, "So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them." So our identity is not what we do. Our identity, most of the time when you're in a job interview, they will ask you, who is Stacy? And our answers are usually a mother, sister, it's not chosen, child of God. The world looks at those external factors, where Christ, when you have given your life over to him, it's rooted in your relationship with him. It is a foundation it's a secure foundation and a sense of belonging. The world is not going to give that to you. You may feel like you belong to the world for a little while, but it'll fade away because your identity in the world will change. You will be on top of the world one minute, and the next thing you know, don't nobody know you. But in Christ, you're never forgotten. You are always his child. He adopted you, just if I was to adopt a child, that child is mine. He has adopted us into his family when we give our life to him. And we are heirs in Christ. And I kept reading in Christ. These different scriptures, I kept reading in Christ. And I said, Lord, what does in Christ mean? I don't know what that means. I'm aware of who Christ is, but what does that mean in Christ? And in Christ is an intimate relationship between Jesus and yourself, a believer. I'm going to say yourself because all here, as far as I know, are believers. And it's a relationship that is a source of strength, security, and purpose. I don't think I can get strength, security, and purpose from the world. There may be times that I feel like it, but it's not going to stay. Strength, security, and purpose are only a foundation in Christ. So we are called to reflect God's character and purpose. And it's not based on our human achievements, our social status, our external appearance. Some people will. I was studying this and kind of struggling with it. Like, Lord, when I look at my identity, I know it's in you, but I'm a mother, I'm a sister, I'm a grandmother, I'm all of these different things. And he was showing me that that's not my identity, that's my calling. Those are my callings on my life. I'm called to be a mother. And my assignment is to train my children up the way they should go. I'm called to be a sister and a daughter. My assignment is to love. That's my assignment, to love, to have compassion, to be of help when needed. And, I've said that we're called to reflect God's character, but of course that's not always an easy task because we fall short every day. We fall short every day, but we strive to reflect God's character. We are also a new creation. And I said, it says in the Bible in John 15:16 that we're chosen. I've already stated that we're created in his image. And we're redeemed and forgiven. We're created for a purpose. We may not know what it is, but we are created for a purpose. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. You got to think about that for a minute. We're fearfully and wonderfully made. That means each one of us is unique. He designed every detail of each one of us. I was thinking about that because I've got this inspirational adult coloring book, and I'm looking at all these these little flowers on them. I'm like, Lord, I don't want to color all that. I don't want to color all that. That's a lot. And I thought about that when I read how he designed every detail. Every single detail. And nothing about our lives will surprise him. But we need to strive to know our identity in Christ. Because when we know our identity in Christ, we stumble less. The world does not fool us when we know our identity in Christ. And part of our identity in Christ is our union with our brothers and sisters. When we come together like this, we need that union so that we can be there for each other, because we are to unite. We're supposed to live in unity, serve one another, and be a witness to the world. The world should see, the world should see our unity. They shouldn't see a division. And I see that a lot in some churches, a division. There's a competition. We need that unity because that's part of our identity. In Ephesians 2:19. It says, "So then you are no longer strangers and aliens, but you are fellow citizens with the saints and members of the household of God." We are a member of God's household. So it's like going home. I was just at a anniversary celebration for a church this morning, and in their welcome, they said, "Welcome home." We need to remind ourselves that we are home with God. The way it feels when we go home to our parents, that safety that we feel. It's the same thing with God. The only thing is with God, it's a sure thing, because our parents can fail just like we can. But I want us to remember that when you've given your life over to Christ, you are a new creation. So those old things have passed away. It doesn't matter who wants to bring them up. As people say, I know the skeletons in your closet. I don't have any skeletons in my closet because that's that part of me died. So I don't have any skeletons. Remember that you are a new creation. You are chosen. When next time somebody says to you, who are you? Shock them and say, I'm chosen. I'm a child of God. I'm redeemed. I'm forgiven. I know I had an interview once and I didn't get the position, but he had asked me if I could be anyone, who would I want to be? He wasn't ready for my answer because I said I wanted to be me. I said I've walked too many miles in my own shoes. I know what I've been through. I don't know what anybody else is going through. So I'd rather be me. And he looked at me crazy. He looked at me so crazy, like, you want to be who? I'm like, me. I know I don't got all the money in the world, but the people who do have all that money, I don't know what they're facing. And I don't want to know. So from this day forward, I want you to challenge yourself when someone asks who you are, that you tell them who you are in Christ, not who you are in the world. Tell them who you are in Christ and not who you are in the world, because in Christ, it's a rooted relationship. That foundation is strong. And in the world, there's cracks. It'll crumble at any moment. And that's what God gave me.